Congratulations! If you're watching this, you've probably already completed the online portion of the Lead Renovators training. You're now about halfway to finishing the certification process. So now it's time to find out what's next. When you finish the test at the end of the online training, you should have been prompted to print out a certificate or record of completion. You should now contact the organization issuing that certificate to arrange for the in-person hands-on portion of the training and the course completion test. Hands-on is 2.5 hours long and usually conducted at a training facility outfitted with the supplies, materials, and equipment to simulate lead hazard control-like conditions. It's a wonderful opportunity to get familiar with the simple techniques used to complete lead-safe renovations and allows you to apply the knowledge from the online training in real-world circumstances. You'll get a chance to get to know lead-safe work practices from a practical standpoint and be given a chance to work with the specialized equipment like the HEPA vacuums and other lead-specific supplies and materials critical to effective lead hazard control. You'll also apply the testing and cleaning verification techniques necessary to satisfy EPA requirements and get familiar with the required project and staffing record-keeping processes under the rule. Following that hands-on, you'll be taking a 25-question test and are expected to get at least 18 correct to achieve the 70% passing grade. We've put together a short review to get you ready for that test. Please note that this review is not specific to any one test, but is designed to touch on the topics and important points that you might expect to see on a course-ending test. After we finish this review, we'll go over what happens once you pass the test, so stay tuned. Here goes. Now we're going to take a look at some of the areas that might be on the test. What's target housing? Housing built before 1978 that houses or could house children or pregnant women. What's a child-occupied facility? A building or a portion of the building built before 1978 that is visited regularly by the same child under the age of 6 for at least 3 hours a day, for at least 6 hours a week, and for at least 60 hours a year. This includes common areas routinely used by the children under the age of 6 and adjacent exterior areas. How does EPA define renovation? The modification of an existing structure that results in the disturbance of painted surfaces, including a disturbance of more than 6 square feet per room of painted surface on the interior and a disturbance of more than 20 square feet per side of the painted surface on the exterior. How soon does the EPA Renovate Right pamphlet have to be given to owners of homes being renovated? No more than 60 days before beginning a renovation. How far out should the poly extend beyond the surface being renovated? 6 feet. Another 2 feet should be cleaned as part of the final cleanup after the work is done. What's the EPA standard for lead-based paint? 0.5% or 1.0 milligrams per square centimeter by XRF. Name a few examples of health effects of lead poisoning in adults. High blood pressure, memory and concentration problems, fertility problems, sexual disorders, and digestive problems. Are window replacements ever exempt under the renovation rule? No, not even when the area disturbed is less than 6 square feet. What's the maximum fine for violation of the rule? $32,500. What's the difference in training requirements for renovation workers in federally assisted housing and those working in target housing? HUD requires that all personnel working on lead hazard control attend HUD-approved lead-safe work practices training or work under the on-site supervision of a lead abatement supervisor. The Renovators Rule authorizes a renovator to train workers according to the specific standards set up in the rule and be present during prep and cleanup. These rules are not necessarily compatible, and renovators working in federally assisted housing should be knowledgeable on HUD's specific requirements. How long must renovators keep records that they provide and renovate right to homeowners? What about the records of renovation? 3 years each. What's the technique a renovator can use to determine if lead-based paint is present? An EPA-recognized test kit. Why would a renovator use containment during renovation? To control the spread of dust into the rest of the home and make cleanup of the work area easier. How far out does the poly extend from the house when working on the exterior? 10 feet. How often should renovators expect to clean the work area? Daily. What's the sequence for cleaning the work area? From the top of the walls, down to the floors, across the floors, from the farthest point of the room to the exit. Who does cleaning verification and when? The renovator, of course, after a final clean and before occupants are permitted back into the area where the renovation work was done. Is disposable clothing considered a hazardous waste? No, it isn't. Name 2 records that must be kept on site during renovation. Firm certification, non-certified work training documentation. That's it. Just remember, the more detail you know that's specific to the EPA requirements, the better I think you'll do on the exam. Once you've passed that test, you're officially a certified renovator. Fantastic, huh? Don't forget to get a copy of the course completion certificate you received from the trainer. That's your official record of qualification and is necessary for the mandatory records under the rule. All that's left is firm or company certification. Simple enough. Just complete the firm application available at training or online at www.epa.gov/let. Be advised that there's a $300 application fee payable to EPA when you send that firm application in. The firm application is all you'll need, as EPA does not issue certifications for individuals. Send that firm application in right away because it will take a few weeks for EPA to process it and send you your firm certification back. That's important because once the EPA deadline kicks in, you'll be out of compliance if your firm does work in target housing or child-occupied facilities until you get that firm certification. Anyway, once you get that certification, you're done, at least for 5 years, when you'll have to attend a refresher and renew your firm certification. So keep up the good work and best of luck completing the process.